Welcome to In the Studio, a production of Davis Media Access. During the pandemic, we've been recording these shows remotely using virtual software. My name is Jeff Shaw, and I'll be your host today. And we're very happy to welcome Kyle Parker, the founder CEO of ClipDart. Kyle, welcome, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, of course. The mission of ClipDart, as you've said, is to improve the mental wellness via selfless mobile barbers and cosmetologists. Can you tell me a bit more about the mission and how you kind of came to see this mission as a need in the community? It's a pretty unique mission. And if you want to tell us a little bit about your personal background as well, coming to that, finding that mission, just go ahead. But I'm interested in hearing how that came about.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. That's a great question. So myself, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. Grew up there for 18 years of my life, and so it's one of the most diverse areas, not only within Illinois, but really in the nation. And so being a Black person out there, I never had an issue finding a barber, finding a hairstylist. They were always available. I even live next to a Mexican neighborhood that I can go to and never have a cultural drop off, a cultural loss in the experience of a barbershop. And within the Black and brown community, the barbershop is much more than a place where you just get your hair cut. It's really a cultural institution. It's really a pillar of the community. Where I went to get my haircut, they hired people who were struggling with homelessness and hunger to sweep the floors for money. It was a safe haven. They knew this was a place not to have violence. So it was a really, really important place for me growing up, as a kid out there. And so when I graduated high school, I went to a school called Grinnell College, which is in the middle of Iowa, as rural Iowa as you can get, around 2-3 hours from a big city. And so being out there, I wasn't able to find a barber. It became nearly impossible. I didn't have public transportation. I didn't have a car of my own, and my friends are not letting me borrow the car for a 5-hour, 6-hour round trip. So it became nearly impossible for me to look my best and feel my best and then perform my best. And so being out there at that school for 3 years, I truly realized how important barbers and hairstylists are to people's mental wellness. I just didn't realize that because I'd never had it completely taken away from me than, the way that I was out there. So I really made it a mission in 2016 to find different ways, find innovative ways to improve people's mental wellness, all types of people, all walks of life, not just Black and brown people, all walks of life, improve their mental wellness through these barbers, through these hairstylists. And at that same time, really revolutionize their perspective of what those barbers and those hairstylists mean to your community.
And so, what kind of services in particular does ClipDart offer? And is there a certain geographical area that you now serve? I mean, are you in Davis right now? Are you in Sacramento, or whereabouts do you
Yeah,
do
so
you just go ahead?
yeah, great question. We have a lot of moving parts with ClipDart. On one we have three pillars. So at one pillar, we focus on our on-demand barber app. So like Uber or DoorDash, we deliver a barber to your door wherever you want, at whatever time that you want it. And then another pillar of our business is our business partnerships. So we work with different organizations such as schools and find students of color who are struggling to find a barber, bring a barber from the big city. We work with hospitals, we work with nursing homes, we work with law enforcement to bridge the gap with barbers of color. So we work with a lot of different businesses, but most importantly, this is how we got to Day of Duty, as we host give back experiences, which are the most important, most impactful aspect of ClipDart.
Yeah, and so that is a good segue to talking about Day of Duty. There is an event coming up in Davis at the Davis Community Church on October 31st. Tell us a little bit about. I mean, this just sounds like a lot of work to coordinate the Day of Duty. But tell us a little bit about maybe what the goals are of Day of Duty, and how you go about accomplishing those goals. Or tell us just a
Yeah,
little bit about.
Yeah. So, like you said, it is a lot of work, but the work becomes a lot easier when you have a great support system, a great team behind you, great organizations behind you who all understand the mission of Day of Duty. And that mission is really to build community. We want to have a sort of festival, a sort of, public health forum that they can come to and get all different types of support and services that they can think of. All of our neighbors in need, people struggling with homelessness, people struggling with hunger, people struggling with domestic violence, people struggling with LGBTQIA issues. People are struggling with mental wellness all around this world with all different types of unique perspectives, especially, after everything that happened after the pandemic. So, our mission with this Day of Duty is to have a one-stop shop, where people in need can come and get the services and support that they need. And it's really blossomed in a sense where it's become easier because organizations are able to speak with other organizations that they know would benefit from this. They're able to speak with neighbors in need who understand the importance of an experience like this. Yeah, and so the way to grow it is just really to spread the mission, spread the vision of what we're trying to do, and it usually kind of takes care of itself.
And so, give me an example of some of the services that you'll be doing on Day of Duty, or some of the yeah, some of the activities, some of the logistics.
Yeah, so we try to offer, like I said, we try to get creative, try to think of everything mental wellness wise that we can offer. So there'll be free food, free clothes, free, hopefully, COVID vaccinations, COVID testing, school supplies, candy, obviously, being that it is Halloween.
Right.
Avid and Company, there's a bookstore downtown in Davis, is gonna donate books. We'll have showers. We'll have obviously clipped art. We are the ones who provide the haircuts and find people to do that. Face painting. We'll have a kid mini candy bar. They can order all types of candy and sugar for them. Bike repair. There'll be bike repair there. We're trying to get pets there, so you can pet some pets for some mental wellness. Really trying to get outside of the box and get creative. So everybody has something that they could use there, or some type of support or service that they can use.
Yeah, I mean, this goes way beyond just getting a haircut, even though that seems to
Hmm.
be sort of the core of what your mission is. Have you found it
Hmm.
that easy for people to jump into what you're trying to do? Are people excited about helping out? I mean, clearly, this, like I said, this goes way beyond a haircut. So I'm just curious as to how you're able to bring everyone in like that.
Yeah. Also, a great question, Jeff. Yeah, it's like you said, it's new. It's something that people don't really think about because they usually have great access to it. And
I
so
see.
it really showed at our last event, which is on Juneteenth. We have an annual Juneteenth that we had in Arizona. And the reason why we love to partner with a lot of these nonprofits, these human service organizations, is because a lot of times they miss this step of our neighbors in need wanting to look their best. Like I mentioned before, it's you look your best, you feel your best, and you perform your best. A lot of organizations miss that first step, and they help these people get the jobs they need, get the housing they need, get the food they need. Um, but it's hard to get a job when you look in the mirror and you're not confident in what you see. And so at these experiences we have a lot of around 20 different organizations, table human service organizations, where they offer their support. And we've seen a lot of our neighbors in need, the first thing they want to do when they get to these experiences is get a haircut, because they understand the importance of how that humanizes them in a sense. And not only, when we speak to our neighbors in need, not only does a haircut help them, um, you know, remember somebody that they recognize in the mirror, somebody who had a relationship with a
Yeah.
barber in the past, and that they loved it. But also at the same time, they have a 45-minute conversation with this barber. That gives them the confidence to then go to these tables and go to these wonderful nonprofits and get the services that they might actually need to survive. And so when nonprofits and human service organizations are able to see this firsthand, and see how impactful, it's not just a haircut, it's a grooming experience. It's something that really lifts their spirits, lifts their what's going on in their life for a couple of minutes, and that's extremely important. And they're able to see this firsthand. And so I think that's why it's been easier, to push this mission, because everybody understands, everybody wants to look their best.
Yeah, I think I couldn't have said it any better myself. And it's clearly an avenue that a lot of people maybe take for granted. And so it's really great that you're able to to acknowledge that and sort of make it front and center and sort of use that as a way to sort of address all these other needs. So I really like that about your mission. For this
Thank you.
particular event, there's got to be a huge team behind your effort. I mean, you're not doing this all yourself. I'm just wondering if there's anybody you wanted to shout out a little bit, just because I'm sure there's a huge team behind this.
Yeah, that's the people love. Our team is not that big. I just moved out
Okay.
to Davis. I moved to Davis in April by with my girlfriend who studies at UC Davis as a food scientist.
Yeah.
Actually moved here from Germany with her, and I'm the only one here from our team in California.
Okay.
Really, and there's only three other. It's for me, like to say, Jeff. It's my support system in terms of my family. We've been doing philanthropy. We've been doing this work since I was 6 years old. So
Wow.
it's natural. My mother, she's a reverend, and my grandfather, who's late, was a pastor. And so they really instilled this in me at a very, very young age, traveling to Africa, traveling to different parts of the world to really give back. And so, throwing something like this is the least I can do, coming into a new community and trying to just get used to the community and acclimate myself here. It's the least I can do. So I don't look at it. That's why it's hard for me to answer that question, because I don't really look
Sure.
at it as work. This is my passion. This is what I wake up to do.
I think that you'll find a lot of people, and I think you find Davis very receptive to your mission and what you're
Yeah.
trying to accomplish. And I think that this will only grow, and I'm just happy to hear about this event. So once again, we've been talking to Kyle Parker, the founder CEO of ClipDart, and the Day of Duty again is happening on October 31st at the Davis Community Church from 12 to 6 p.m. Right?
Hmm. Yes.
And how can people watching support the work that you're doing? Like, what would you go to your website, or what's the best way for them to get involved?
Yeah, you can go to our website, www.clipdart.com. It has all the information that you'll need. If you want to volunteer, if you want to sell your jewelry, if you want to sell your art there, just be a part of the community. If you know people who can donate clothes or shoes, underwear, things of that nature, hygiene products, anything. We're really open to anything. If you are a barber, or a hairstylist, you want to give haircuts, everything that you need will be on clipdart.com.
Excellent. So I encourage everyone to check out that website. Thank you so much, Kyle, for joining us today. And this has been In the Studio. My name is Jeff Shaw. And thanks again, Kyle, so much. And everyone, this is October 31st at the Davis Community Church from 12 to 6 p.m., Day of Duty. And thanks so much, Kyle.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.